This is Space Engineers, a sandbox survival game where you get to do more than just survive, you get to build and actually move your creations, making it fairly unique in this genre. Matter of fact, it seems to be alone in its genre almost. Uh, I am new to streaming my games, but I am planning on starting that this coming week. So I thought I would do a short video to explain what I'm going to be streaming and the mods and such I put into it. Uh, so bear with me as we get this going. Now, I am going to be trying a scenario called Ares at War. It is actually the beta version of it that I've downloaded. Make that where it's clearer to see. And this, all credit for this goes to Captain Arthur and his team, which we should thank the rather involved modding community that goes along with Space Engineers. I have made a few changes to the settings since I'm going to be doing this solo. I increased the inventory size 1 unit, the block inventory by 1 unit. I sped up the assemblers and the refinery 1 click each. I also increased welding speed, but did not touch grinding speed. I have a slightly larger view distance because my computer has plenty of RAM. Sun rotation, day duration, all of these are the original settings. Actually, I want to bump up mass objects to 100 or so. Again, all original settings. Again, down here, mostly original settings. I did turn on, where's it at? I turned on the economy, wherever that is. I'm not seeing it at the moment. There it is. I turned off auto respawn. I just don't care for it. Enable bounty contracts. I turned on the shear inertia tensor piston, the two unsafe ones. Because when you make cranes and the like, these are almost guaranteed needed. And that's pretty much all the settings I changed to make it an easier, a faster experience in single player. I've still got to do a lot of engineering to accomplish the goals of the scenario, but I won't have the tiny inventories that make especially early game mining very repetitive and boring. For modding, these mods are directly out of Splitsie and Captain Shack's playthrough, except for very few replacements and additions. For example, the depreciated original Ares map has been replaced by the Ares map version 2. I did not want the welder wall or heavy gas mods that Splitsie used. Also, I removed a few of the wing stuff. I did leave in some, but I took out these. And I didn't know what this did, so I removed it. Again, have the Mr. Coffee, which is actually has an equivalent in game now that didn't used to have. The easy inventory manager I am trying out for the first time in this playthrough. Mechanical keybinds I find a lot easier to use than the script control mods for cranes and the like, mostly because Uh, as my name suggests, I am legally blind, and even this screen, I'm not able to read most of this without uh, adaptive equipment. So going through the scripts in game is just virtually impossible for me. The few I use are ones that are turn it on and it works. These work in game, and I can use my adaptive equipment to allow me to see well enough to use it. Again, that's mechanical keybinds, the production quota, uh, radio spectrometry and seismic surveying. Um, just make finding ores easier uh, without taking away the gameplay aspect of searching for ores. Uh, here's that in the new version 2 of the in-game map. Ooh, I actually wanted to get rid of that one. I don't want progression. I just really don't want progression. If I can build a block, I want to be able to build the block. Advanced welding. That's not the one I want. I want the other one. I'm sure it's in here. Or no, wait, that is the one I want. Never mind. Advanced welding allows you to drop I'll talk about it again when I get to the bottom, because now it's at the bottom. AI enabled, again, that's part of Splitsie's, allows bots to be made, which is going to be essential for me playing single player. Allows you to have bots that can help you weld and maintain your base and help you build your ships. But each bot has a cost, both in material and credits, so it balances out a lot better than the nanobots bots and the like. Also, it's easier to get in the early game as opposed to needing gold for it with the nanobots and that kind of thing. Concrete, I can use gravel to build foundations as opposed to steel, which will allow me to use the gravel rather than just toss it. These again, I told you I was doing the beta version of Areas at War. Automatic subgrid naming is nice because whatever you build is not called small grid 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 or whatever. It's given the name of whatever you build it off of. So it's a nice addition. Block picker makes finding blocks easier. Build info and build vision are essential. I'll show you what they do in game because they are just absolutely required for any kind of large scale builds, it seems to me anyway. I use color HUD because it's easier. Again, it's easier for my eyes to have the different colors versus trying to find the different sliders all in one color. Like colorful icons, same thing. Here's the airplane, Consti's airplane stuff as opposed to aerodynamic controls. Which I may put in the wings. I will see. I may come back and put them in later. Crew enabled puts in the bases NPCs to both fight against and fight with. This just changes the shape of decoys. Deflector shields. This will be late game for me because haven't spawned any in. It will allow me, once I'm able to get the materials, to not have to rebuild my late game ships over and over again. But it won't come into play till much later. Again, it requires gold and the like to build. Faction tracers gives each faction its own color. bullet tracers, which is kind of cool when you get in a big firefight and there's different color tracers zapping everywhere, kind of Star Wars-esque almost. Forcing dynamic grids means if you cut out the base of something, it will fall rather than float. Let's see, this is a couple of different turbines over the original. Improved interior turrets is named a little misleading. After the Warfare 2 update, the interior turrets were laser focused. If you stuck your head out and there was an interior turret, it'd take it off. The improved interior turrets actually makes them less accurate, so it gives you a chance to fight back against them. Long range searchlight and spotlight packs allow me to see in the dark. But you see when I see. Let's see, that's part of. No more free energy means I will actually have to provide enough energy to distill water into hydrogen, and it's kind of like having to make refineries to refine the water rather than just convert the water directly into hydrogen. It adds a level of complexity to your bases. What else is in here? Ore Detector Plus. This just lets me find ores faster and easier. Just again, it's probably unnecessary since I have the seismology mod, but it's just easier for my eyesight again. Here's the plane parts mod, so I probably will not need these because everything I need should be in here. What else we got? Different skybox. Research nodes. This is a static mining buildings that, while not fast, allows less voxel deformation and will allow me to be able to focus on building for my next objective rather than constantly going back and mining. I will be able to do some, also be able to provide some logistics doing so, which is always nice to be able to build one more kind of vehicle in the game. Sleep mod allows us not to have so much nighttime. Normally, in the original Areas at War, the sleep mod was the sleep mod would break the original mod. However, watching Splitsie and Captain Shack's playthrough, Captain Arthur put in the sleep mod into their setup, so I believe the sleep mod is going to be okay with the new Areas at War version 2, which is what we're playing on, so I went ahead and left it in. Sneaky sounds basically just means that our ears don't bleed when I use my tools. That goes all credit to Splitsie. Tank tracks, these are just cool sometimes. I may build a tank just for the fun of building a tank. And water mod, talked a little bit about water. I don't know that I'll be building a boat in this game, but we'll see what happens. It's also required for Areas at War, so this will actually be my first time ever using it. Then back to advanced welding. Advanced welding allows blocks to be taken off without grinding the block itself. It gives a different kind of attaching of two grids with weld pads as opposed to having to use merge blocks. There's a cost involved of the materials of the weld pads, but sometimes it's a much simpler and elegant solution. It also has several really cool and, in my opinion, essential additions it adds to the game. So that is the mods, the scenario, and the settings I have set up to run this playthrough. My plan is to start streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Definitely will be doing Space Engineers on Tuesdays. And who knows, I may try a second game on Thursday, and if I get an audience, I may even try a third stream on one day. We'll see what happens. But this is my intended setup for Ares at War version 2. Hope you'll join me on Tuesday.